Hi, I'm Mark Cullen with a do-it-yourself video library explaining how to build a rain garden. This video is produced by Landscape Ontario and Park Lane Landscapes. We begin to explore the steps involved in building a rain garden on your own property. The tools you'll need to build a rain garden include a garden hose or spray paint, a measuring tape, a shovel or a spade, a wheelbarrow, a bin or dumpster, or somewhere to take excavated debris. And when building your rain garden, you'll be using both hard materials, for example, a type of stone, and soft materials like plants. Some of the hard materials you'll require include gravel, aggregate, for example, crushed stone, sand, decorative boulders, edging material. Some of the soft materials you may require are geotextile fabric or filter cloth, garden plants with special consideration to native plants, and soil.
Well, originally when we built the house in 2008, there were some assumptions made about how the grade was going to work on the property. We're very close to the lake, and there were some limitations how deep we could go and things like that. As we started landscaping, creating garden beds, and added the driveway, we realized we were getting a lot of water accumulation problems. The other issue is that the house itself is fairly big, and there's a lot of roof area because there's you might see it in the background, the covered porch there. It generates a lot of water. So the downspouts that were put on the house were 4-inch, trying to accommodate the volume. But in a heavy rain or any kind of peak storm, we get more water than you can imagine here. And it's been pooling against the house, building up, submerging the septic tank, and actually entering the basement. So it's been overflowing faster than our sump pump can keep up. And we realized we got a permanent drainage issue on the property. It wasn't graded properly away from the house, and we don't have enough volume capture area for it to go. So when we get a heavy rain, we're in ankle-deep water in the driveway, and we get water in the basement.
What we've really been working on is sculpting the land, so we took off all the sod, and today we're working on all of our holes. So we've got 6 separate actual pits where the water will be held, and basically those were kind of strategically placed based on where the downspouts are and where the water was originally pouring onto a lawn during those rainfall periods. Huge garden space. We are going to be taking about 50% of the water from the driveway itself. We're going to be taking that water in, as well as 90% of the water off of the house itself. Definitely the trees, the maple trees on the property are definitely going to benefit from this, because it's not just like flooding the house, it's actually weeping right down to their root system, and they can eat it up from there. We placed in a lot of our stepping stones, so we have a path basically running through from the driveway all the way through the entire rain garden, kind of meeting up with the decks and then moving all the way to the back of the house. And the reason we did that was because the client cares greatly about his lawn, so we created this path so people are encouraged to kind of meander through the garden. It's going to work great. It's going to be a lot better than what was here originally. Substantially better. There's not going to be any water going from his driveway, from the area in the front of his house, into his basement anymore. It's not going to happen.
The basic steps for rain garden construction are sizing the garden based on your rain garden calculations, mark out the garden including the connection between the downspout and the garden itself, remove the turf, excavate the garden to required depth, again based on your rain garden calculator results, install the medium or soil, install the filter fabric if required, and install soil pockets if required. And finally, install plants and mulch. One of the wonderful things about rain gardens is that they typically require less maintenance than a traditional garden. Weeding, as well as seasonally cutting back and occasionally splitting perennials, will still be necessary, but additional watering will not be needed. Not only are you keeping the water on your property and in the garden, you're saving water, as no watering from the hose is required. Also, the use of native plant species means that the plants are more adapted to the climate and native insects in your yard, so issues with unwanted pests are eliminated. You should also remove any debris and leaves from the garden each year as part of your fall cleanup. Rain gardens help to reduce flooding, add to the value of your home, and protect your freshwater resource. They're simple to build and result in a beautiful garden that's easy to care for. In our next video, we caught up with the Park Lane Landscapes team at Canada Blooms. Watch as they demonstrate a model home with multiple rain garden examples.